Hey y'all, welcome to DDTS. This is episode 628 or 29, but I'm thinking we on episode 629. I gotta go back and see whatever title that you see on the beginning in the on the screen, that's what episode we on. We might be on 630. But yes, before you start the video, I wanted to update y'all on some things that I forgot to put in the video when I was recording. And I also wanted to tell y'all that I was able to get a recording. Well, not recording, but I was also able to get a clip of the Campbell's exclusive saying that stuff on audio where he did not know that he was being recorded secretly. And so basically, allegedly, it is proof in the pudding that he did say these things. A lot of people might say it was AI. It was AI. I thought about that as well, but I'm not going to say that because it's been trending for quite some time. So this is allegedly what the Campbell's exclusive said on the audio. I will be putting that in. And also, I forgot to include something else in. And that is this. As of right now, no court response from Campbell's Soup have been filed in the case, and Garza is seeking damages for wrongful termination and retaliation. So basically, Robert Garza, he is saying allegedly that he's been wrongful terminated, and he is seeking a reverse for that because he feel like in his mind that he was helping the peoples. And I believe he was basically standing up for peoples who are of different communities, for the peoples that Martin Bailey allegedly talked bad about, illy about, the poor peoples and the Indians, And I really feel like this, like I said, if you will listen later on in the video, I will also be detailing that it's all sorts of poor peoples of different communities. And I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody or anything or this person, but I'm going to say it's plenty peoples of the community that are in the poor circuit. Like it's a lot of peoples that are in the lower classes, not just a certain community. And I just want to put that out there. He could have been talking about any community. He could have been talking about any community or any race. He could be talking about all races that are in the poor community. But I feel like in my mind, I think I know which race he was basically talking about. If you know, you know. And what he said was very racially and very, very, very unacceptable and inappropriate. So after this clip, I'm going to play that clip. After this recording, I'm going to play that clip. And then after that, we'll be getting back with the video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all on the next video. Hope y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. And happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at it and look at meat. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
For all you Campbell's chicken noodle soup lovers, or any Campbell's soup for that matter, you might want to switch to a new brand. Leaked recording reveals Campbell's exec's shocking remarks about soup's ingredients. We have shit for fucking poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy now that I know what the fuck's in it. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. The 3D printer is where all the extra flavor comes from. I'm playing. Campbell's Soup don't have no flavor. A Campbell's Soup Company vice president was secretly recorded ripping the food giant's products, mocking poor people who buy them, blasting Indian co-workers as idiots, and admitting he sometimes showed up to work high. And the employee who reported it says he was the one to get fired. Oh well, that's what you get for snitching. I'm just playing. You can't be racist and high at work. Although I have enjoyed an edible or two at the desk. You do it during the last hour of work to just help it, Oh well, bitch, y'all wouldn't understand. Robert Garza, a former cybersecurity analyst from Monroe, Michigan, says he hit record on instinct when he sat down with Campbell's vice president and chief information security officer, Martin Bally, for what was supposed to be a routine salary meeting late last year. Instead, he captured what he describes as an explosive hour-long tirade that left him feeling pure disgust. This guy would have me left in pure disgust, too. He said he doesn't eat Campbell's soup, but what do you think he does eat? I think he eats ass.
Give me a run for my money. There was nobody, no one that would run me. So give me a run for my money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. Just lovely.
Hey y'all, good morning and welcome to another episode of DDTS, episode 628. I'm back with another video. It is 6:24 a.m. in the morning, and before I go back to sleep, because I had a headache last night, and I got me a little rest, but I'm gonna go back to sleep after filming this video because I want to get me a little more rest in. And after I wake up, I will possibly be making some more content. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video. It's DDTS, episode 628. And hope y'all are doing wonderful. Happy Wednesday. And tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone and their families. I hope y'all are doing well. And this video possibly has something to do with an important ingredient that, peoples be using for their Thanksgiving foods and recipes that we're going to be talking about. But first, if you haven't, hit that like button, subscribe button, and that notification bell so you will get new videos when they're up and uploaded. So this morning, we're going to go ahead and get into this video. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about Campbell's Soup exclusive allegedly calls company products S for poor peoples in secret recording. So basically, the CEO of Campbell's allegedly calls Campbell's soup. I'm gonna try not to cuss on here. Calls the company products mess for peoples in secret recording. And it says here, Martin Bailey placed on temporary leave as company conducts international investigation following lawsuit. And I'm guessing that's who made the recording and said the alleged stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So we're going to read this article and I'll make sure, I put it up here. So here we go. Accusations for making the rounds after a Campbell's Soup Company exclusive allegedly makes disparaging comments regarding the company's customers and employees. The exclusive was secretly recorded during a meeting according to a lawsuit filed in Michigan Wayne County Circuit Court. The suit filed by Robert Garza, a former cybersecurity analyst for Campbell's Soup accuses Martin Bailey, the company's vice president and chief information security officer, of making the offensive comments during a meeting in November 2024. Garza, the conversation, which he said took place at a company's headquarters, Camden, New Jersey, Local 4 News District reported. And I'm assuming this is a picture of the person that made the recording, which I'm going to put up here. Martin Bailey, Campbell's Soup Company Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer, is accused in a lawsuit of making disparaging remarks about the co-workers and customers during a recorded meeting, according to the court filings and media reports. So, in a recording, a voice alleged to be Bailey's can be heard criticizing Campbell's products and mocking its consumers. And it says right here, we have mess for effing poor peoples who buy our S. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. The voice allegedly belonging to Bailey can be heard saying, Beginnered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. Bailey allegedly says, belittling Campbell's soup ingredients. He also allegedly made a derogatory comments about Indian co-workers. According to the recording, claimed that he sometimes came to work under the influence of marijuana. Effing Indians don't know a effing thing. The voice on the recording says they couldn't think for their effing selves. Garza began working for the soup giant September of 2024, told Local 4 News that intentionally he kept the recording private, but changed his mind and deceived to report the comments to his supervisor. And the company states that Garza was terminated approximately 20 days later, and he is accusing the company of maintaining a racially hostile work environment. Garza attorney says his clients was really sticking up for other people and alleges that the termination was retaliatory. A Campbell's Soup Company spokesperson told the New York Post that Bailey has been placed on temporary leave while they conduct an international investigation. If the comments were in fact made, they are unacceptable. They do not reflect on our values, the culture of our company. The spokesperson said, we are proud of the food we make, the people who make, and the high quality ingredients we use. The companies heard of the recording about our food are not only inaccurate, but they are patiently observed. The company says it was not aware of the recording before the lawsuit was filed. Fox News Digital has reached out to Campbell's Soup Company for additional comments, but did not immediately hear back. As of now, no court response from Campbell's Soup has been filed in this case. Garza is seeking damages for wrongful termination and realization. Okay, now that is the article. Now let's go ahead and get into the elaboration. So I'm going to say this. Martin Bailey, the Campbell's Soup exclusive, Martin Bailey, he was placed on temporary leave for the comments that he made And I'm going to go ahead and say this. He deserves it. Better yet, he deserves to be fired. And you know what? It serves him right. It serves him right because, again, he had no business saying that stuff. And then again, you got to think about it. When you say stuff around people's in a work environment, you must be careful what you say around people's and to people's, because you never know. You can be recorded in anything. You don't know. Peoples can have you recorded in anything, and they can go turn it in to the big person that's over them and that's over that person, because even in the workplace, you must be careful. Even in the workplace, you don't have friends. Even in the workplace, you have to watch your words. So when basically Martin Bailey, he made those comments, he didn't think he was being recorded. He was. But I will say this. That's why I say you must be careful what you say. And for him calling the company products a mess for poor people's in a secret recording, that basically tells me, it basically says he think only poor people's buy Campbell's soup. Well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't just buy Campbell's soup. I actually, for me, I buy the off-brand cream of chicken and consideration soup. I don't always buy Campbell's. I don't always use Campbell's, so I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that use Campbell's, and I know it's a lot of people that don't use Campbell's. They don't use the name brand soup. I'm one of those people. Like, if I'm cooking a recipe, I use another type of consideration soup besides Campbell's, because long as my recipe still tastes good and it's good, it works the same way in my opinion. That's why I said earlier, like, I know a lot of people probably use cream of chicken soup Campbell's for their dressing and whatever else they y'all gonna make for Thanksgiving holidays. That's if some of y'all are making, holiday dinner. I'm just saying that. And so that's that. So again, not only was Martin Bailey replaced on temporary leave for his comments, but the suit was filed by Robert Garza, and he is a former cybersecurity analyst, and he's the one that secretly recorded Martin Bailey. Hold on, y'all. I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. So in the end, Robert Garza, who was a former cybersecurity analyst for the Campbell Soup, he's the main reason for Martin Bailey's temporary leave, or him getting in trouble for the recording Martin Bailey and his comments being exposed. For one, I don't blame Robert Garza. I don't blame him. I blame Martin Bailey, because he should have known better. And if he would have kept his comments to himself, it wouldn't have gotten that way. Now, I don't know that Martin Bailey say this out of spite because he was mad, or he trying to warn people that use the soup or anything like that. I really don't know. But yeah. But I will say this, you have to think about it. Martin Bailey, he also made very racially comments towards Indian peoples, which I don't agree with, and poor peoples. So basically, that is peoples that doesn't have any money, don't have much money. He could have kept them comments to himself about Indian peoples. He could have kept that comment about himself towards poor peoples, how he feel about them. Because at the end of the day, we are human. And we are peoples that, we will have to get what we can get, what we can afford. So basically he's saying that he said, we have missed for effing poor peoples who buys our S. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. Divorce allegedly belonging to Bully can be heard saying, bologna New York meat, I don't want a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. Bailey allegedly says, belittling Campbell's soup ingredients. Now, if you saying this and you agreeing with us, that's basically telling me that you had something to do with that, because you were the exclusive president of the chicken Campbell's soup. Now, this the thing. I don't feel bad for Martin Bailey. I don't feel bad for him, because that's what he get. He's saying racially stuff towards poor peoples and Indian peoples. I will, for one, would quit buying chicken noodle soup from Campbell's. I pretty much, like I said, I don't buy it like that. I get the name brand before I get Campbell's. That's just me. And I know it's a lot of y'all that make y'all recipes from Campbell's. Some of y'all do. But I'm going to say this. If anybody continues to buy chicken noodle soup, soup from Campbell's, that's y'all decision. That's on y'all. I don't have anything to do with that. But I would say, in my opinion, I think Robert Gaza, I think he's the hero here. He secretly recorded Martin Bailey. I'm not saying that it was right, because it was not right, but it's a good thing that he did. Now, this recording basically exposed the person in their true colors, who was in a higher position of a company. And basically, when this higher person of the company voice is being exposed in a recording, it's like, wow, we know what you all about. So basically, it seems like to me he might be a little racist, allegedly, but it is alleged that it is a recording. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to put it in this aspect. I'm going to try to put everything that I can. And for him to say that about Indians, that's a little wild to me. While he's saying that effing Indians don't know a effing thing, the voice on the recording says they couldn't think for themselves, for them effing selves. And he also says, according to the recording, claim that he sometimes came to work under the influence or marijuana. And he says Garza began working for the soup giant in September of 2024, told Local 4 News that intentionally he had kept the recording private, but changed his mind and decided to report the comments to his supervisor. So basically, when Garza started at Campbell's in 2024, allegedly, he kept the recording private at first, but then he said, allegedly, that he wanted to put it out in the public and showed it to his supervisor. But when Robert Garza showed it to his supervisor, let his supervisor listen, he was terminated fired because of the action that he did because he recorded it. Well, basically, this and that and the third, it can only be for one or two things. Maybe it's some truth to it, or maybe it was, against the rules. Like I said, I don't know. I don't agree with Martin Bailey. But I'm just going to say that was wrong for the comments he made. And I think Robert Garza, he did something that he felt in his best interest in his mind was right. Exposing a person that basically says only poor peoples buy Campbell's soup. Well, honestly, I think all peoples of all classes buy chicken noodle soup, not just poor peoples, but all peoples that use it. And all peoples and all races and everything, they all buy chicken noodle soup. We all buy chicken noodle soup or whatever brand that we want to buy. Honestly, chicken noodle soup is not the only brand of soup out there. It's other brands, it's off brands and other type of names of soup that other peoples and us can buy besides Campbell's. Point and simple. But I really feel like, in my opinion, I really feel like Robert Garza is being punished for something that, in my opinion, that he did what he felt was right. And he's basically out here exposing a person that made these racially and these wild comments about poor people's buying Campbell's soup. Now, when I say poor people's, he cannot listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm finna just say this comment right here. I just want to put this out there. Poor people's. Let's think about it. Poor people's can be any race, any race, and everything. Poor people's meaning in blacks. Poor people's meaning in whites. Poor people's meaning in Mexican. Poor people's meaning in Indian, Chinese, because there are so many poor peoples out there in every race that this could affect. When basically he said that, I'm just putting this out there now. If you want me to be honest, I have to be honest. And I, for one, I think it's wild, especially this the thing. Like, I feel like peoples that, they don't really care about their job. Peoples that don't really care about the peoples be getting these high positions. And they know good and well that they ain't doing their job good. And they abuse their power. And they think that they can say anything and do anything that they want. But neither do peoples know. They are being secretly recorded. That's why I tell peoples, and that's why I urge peoples to watch what you say about peoples and around peoples, because you never know. Even your best friends can be recording you, and they can use that against you if y'all are working together, and they can go to the boss. Show that to the boss. The boss listens. You get in trouble. But sometimes the person that is doing the recording, they don't get in trouble. The person that did the talking in the recording, that did the comments, they get in trouble. So don't think that you getting off the hook because you're not. And I think it's wild that, we live in a society where you think you have friends in the workplace. And I had to learn this. I have to learn this. There are work friends and there are friends outside of work. And there are your friends that are your friends, best friends, this and that and the third, to hang out with you at work and out of work. And every day and every hour, So it's like, who can I trust? Who is my friend? Should I say this? Should I say that? So, yeah. So, the comments, so it says Garza attorney says that, that his client was sticking up for other peoples and alleges that the termination was retaliatory. In my opinion, I think even though Garza secretly recording Martin Bailey, like I said, I think Robert Garza did a wonderful thing, basically exposing the person that was making unnecessary comments about poor peoples, Indians, and anyone of a different race. Like I said, even if you are poor, you can be talking about anyone that is poor, because I feel like everybody is poor in every race and community, better yet. But a lot of people's always want to assume that only black people's is poor, that us black people's in the community is poor, but it's more than us in the community that's poor. There is everybody in every community that's basically going through something. And, it's part of life. And it's a lot of people's that basically can't afford Campbell's. They basically get what they can get. Because it is not like that Campbell's is the best that there is out there. I'm sorry. But I really feel that, it could have been, that issue could have been avoided. But hey, some people saw their true colors. So I believe the Garza attorney says that the determination was retaliatory. So I guess it was a wrongful termination, I believe. But Martin Bailey has been placed on temporary leave while they're still investigating. So I'm going to say this. I wasn't a fan of Campbell's chicken noodle soup anyway. And for peoples to say, and for Martin Bailey to say this, this basically tells me everything that I need to know. If you know this, why are you making the products? So for those of y'all that is making Thanksgiving dinner and using Campbell's recipes, I want y'all to think, is this worth to using now that you know what the person is all about, that is over it, the exclusive president? What do you guys think? So that would be my video for this morning. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back with another video. I hope y'all enjoyed. And I hope y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And happy Thanksgiving. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all soon on the next video. Thank you. And I love y'all. Bye-bye.